When was the last time you felt like you were enough? Not when you achieved something great, not when you received praise, not when you finally reached that goal, but simply enough, just like you are. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times a day you judge yourself? How many times do you compare yourself to others? How many times do you think, I should be better at this? Or, why am I not like that person? How many versions of yourself exist in your head? The version you think you should be, the version your parents expected, the version you think your friends want, the version that would be successful, thin, happy, fulfilled. And where do you fit into all of this? To the real you, to you who wakes up every day and tries to do the best you can, to you who makes mistakes, who doubts, who sometimes doesn't know the way. This version, is it enough? Or are you still waiting to become a better person before you can finally accept yourself? I wake up before sunrise, not because I need to, but because I've learned to love those moments of silence, when the world is still asleep and I can simply be. I prepare my tea slowly, watching the steam rise from the cup, and I think, that's enough. For so much of my life, I ran after more, better, different. I thought I needed to be more successful, thinner, more interesting, more of everything, more, and it was never enough. I was never enough. I remember spending hours in front of the mirror, analyzing every imperfection. Each flaw was proof that I was failing, that I wasn't up to the task, up to what level. I didn't even know. From the invisible standards I had created in my own mind, from the expectations I thought others had of me, from the perfect version of myself that existed only in my imagination. How exhausting. I'm tired of carrying this weight. It was out of exhaustion that I finally stopped, not by choice, but because my body forced me to. An anxiety attack left me on the kitchen floor, unable to breathe properly, with a racing heart and the certainty that I was going to die. I didn't die, but something inside me died that day. The illusion of control, perhaps. The belief that I could force life to be the way I wanted it to be. The idea that if I worked hard enough, was disciplined enough, perfect enough, everything would work out. It took me months to understand what had happened. I started therapy. For the first time, I began to talk about the things I was feeling, instead of just sweeping them under the rug and pretending everything was okay. And no, it wasn't easy. There were days when I wanted to give up. Days when it seemed simpler to go back to old patterns, even knowing they were destroying me. But something inside me insisted on continuing. I started walking. Every day, early in the morning, I would go for a walk around the neighborhood. At first, my mind was always racing, thinking about work, bills, problems, everything that was wrong. But gradually, I began to pay attention to what was around me. The trees I passed every day and never really saw. The puppy that always sat at the same window watching me go by. The smell of coffee being brewed in the houses. The little things. It was in the little things that I began to find a kind of peace I didn't know existed. One morning, I stopped in front of a tree that had purple flowers. They were falling to the ground, creating a carpet of petals. And I stood there just watching. It was so beautiful, and I thought, that's enough. This moment, this beauty, this is enough. I need nothing more at this very second than to be here, alive, witnessing this beautiful thing that nature has created. It seems simple, but for me, it was revolutionary. Because I had spent so much time chasing grand things, epic moments, extraordinary achievements. And in the process, I had completely lost the ability to appreciate the ordinary, the everyday, the small things. I started noticing more. The taste of my coffee in the morning, the sound of the rain hitting the window, the warmth of the sun on my face, the feeling of hot water in the shower. Things I did every day, but on autopilot, without really being present. And when I started paying attention, when I started really feeling these experiences, something changed. It didn't happen overnight. It was gradual, like the sunrise. But slowly, I began to feel a deep gratitude for things that I had previously considered mundane. My therapist asked me to start a gratitude journal. Every night, I write down 3 things I am grateful for. At first, I resisted. It seemed silly, superficial, but I started doing it anyway. And in the early days, I wrote generic things. I'm grateful to have my health. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful for my family. Truths, but without depth. But over time, I started writing things that were more specific, more heartfelt. And today, I am grateful for the unexpected call from my friend, which made me laugh so much my stomach hurt. I am grateful for the tight hug I received when I was feeling invisible. I'm grateful that I was able to ask for help today, even though I was afraid of being a burden. And by writing these things down, by putting them into words, they became more real, more important. I started noticing patterns. The things I was most grateful for rarely had to do with achievements or possessions. They were connections, moments of presence, small acts of kindness, and I began to wonder, why then had I spent so much time chasing other things? Why did I think I needed a better job, a new car, a bigger house, a different body to be happy? The answer was uncomfortable, because I had internalized messages from society, the media, and the people around me that I wasn't good enough as I was, that I needed to improve, achieve, transform in order to have value. And it's a cruel lie, because it never ends. There's always a next goal, a next objective, a next thing you need to finally feel complete. It's a race with no finish line, and I was exhausted from running, so I stopped. And when I stopped, when I simply was, I discovered something surprising. I was already enough, not in the future, when I achieve X or change Y. Now, at this moment, as I am, with my flaws, my insecurities, my imperfections, with my good days and my bad days, with everything that I am and everything that I am not, I am enough, and you are too. I know it's hard to believe when we're constantly being bombarded with messages that we need more. More productivity, more success, more beauty, more. But what if the answer isn't to add more? What if it's to take away, simplify, slow down? What if finding contentment lies not in acquisition, but in appreciating what we already have? I started doing this in my life. I went through my belongings and donated everything I no longer used. Not for aesthetic minimalism, but because I realized I was keeping things by chance, for someday, because I paid a lot for them. And all these things were weighing me down. Each unused item I kept was a small guilt, a small burden. And when I got rid of them, I felt light. I did the same with commitments. I learned to say no, not rudely, but firmly. Thank you for the invitation, but I won't be able to. I would love to help, but I'm out of energy right now. Yes, there were people who were disappointed, who didn't understand, who even distanced themselves, and it hurt. But it also showed me who truly cared about me for who I am, not for what I do or what I can offer. The people who stayed are the ones who say, "It's okay, take care of yourself. I'm here when you need me." And these people are gifts, because true relationships don't require you to empty yourself to fill the other person's void. They don't ask you to be less so that they can be more. Healthy relationships remind us that we are enough, that we deserve love and care, not despite our flaws, but including them. It took me a long time to understand this, because I grew up believing that I needed to strive to be loved, that love was something I had to earn through good behavior, achievements, and usefulness. And that created an exhausting way for me to relate to others. I was always trying to prove my worth, always doing more, always trying to be indispensable. And even so, I never felt safe, because when your worth is tied to what you do, you're always one mistake away from being discarded. You're always vulnerable. But when you understand that your value is inherent, that you deserve love and respect simply for existing, everything changes. You stop accepting crumbs. You stop tolerating behaviors that diminish you. You stop settling for less than you deserve. And also, stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Because if you are enough, you don't need to be perfect. You can make mistakes. You can learn. You can be human. What a relief. Today, when I wake up, I no longer think about everything I need to do, achieve, or prove. I think about how I want to feel. What kind of day do I want to create for myself? And usually the answer is simple. I want to feel at peace. I want to be present. I want to find joy in the little things. And when I focus on that, when I make choices based on how I want to feel instead of how I think I should be, life becomes lighter, not necessarily easier. There are still challenges, difficulties, bad days. But there is a difference between facing difficulties when you are grounded in your worth and facing them when you are constantly doubting yourself. One has solid ground beneath her feet, the other is quicksand. And I choose firm ground. I choose to remind myself every day that I am enough, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm human, not because I've achieved everything, but because I'm trying, not because I have all the answers, but because I'm willing to ask the questions. And perhaps that's what enough really means. Not to be complete, but to be whole. Not to be perfect, but to be authentic. Not to have everything figured out, but to be willing to grow. It's about accepting that you are a work in progress and that this is beautiful. It's about understanding that you don't need to wait until you're ready to live your life. You can live now. You can be happy now. You can love yourself now, with all its imperfections, flaws, and doubts, because they are also a part of you, and you are enough. You always have been, and it always will be. Conclusion. So, when you wake up tomorrow, before you grab your phone, before you start making that mental list of everything you need to do, everything you need to be, breathe. Place your hand on your heart and feel it beating. This heart that keeps you alive every day without you having to ask. That doesn't give up on you, even when you give up on yourself. And say to yourself aloud or in your thoughts, I am enough. Today, as I am enough. Not because you're perfect, but because you are you, and being you with all the mess, with all the doubts, with all the scars and joys and fears and dreams. Being you is more than enough. That's all. You don't need to be extraordinary to deserve love, respect, and happiness. You just need to be. And I know it's hard to believe that in a world that constantly tells us we need more achievements, more beauty, more success, more. But what if the truth is the opposite? What if you already had everything you needed right here, right now? What if the endless search for more is exactly what's preventing you from seeing the abundance that already exists in your life? I'm not saying to stop growing, dreaming, or wanting better things for your life. I'm saying that you don't need to wait until you achieve these things to feel like you've accomplished something. You may feel sufficient now and still want to grow. You can love yourself now and still want to improve. You can be at peace with who you are and still be becoming. These things are not opposites. They coexist. And when you understand that, when you truly understand that you are enough exactly as you are right now, life opens up. Because you stop living in the future, always chasing the next version of yourself, and start living now, right now, in this breath, in this life that you already have. And this life, my friend, this life you have now, with all its imperfections and challenges and small moments of joy, this life is enough. You are enough, and it always has been. It just took you a while to realize, but now you know. And there's nothing more liberating than that. So take a deep breath, look around you, look inside, and acknowledge the truth that has always been there. That's enough. You are enough, and it always will be.